I do apologize if there are some errors or it's not extremely clear, but we are going to cover all the information tonight about crowdfunding, about Cfi Universal, the particular platform, a company called Crowdfunding International. I'm going to go a little bit into that as well. A little bit about myself. I am a family man living in London, on the east side of London. I have a number of businesses, and I came across the platform about a year and a half ago, and I'm going to talk to you particularly about a particular aspect of our platform. My background is in telecoms. I currently work in the finance world now, and I, as I said, have been on this platform with this company now for around about a year, just under a year. So I'm very familiar with the company, with the owners behind the company, and many of the successful project managers on our platform. So it's my great pleasure to deliver this information to you tonight. So please take some notes, and if you can, certainly get back to the person after the call with your feedback as well. So why don't we get started and go straight into the presentation. So hopefully the screen will allow me to go into the first slide. Okay, it says here, the fastest way to realize your dream. Now, I know many of you on this line tonight will be wondering maybe why you're on this line, or the person who placed you on the line may or may not have said to you, this is a great opportunity or a great platform. But, you know, how many of you on this line still have dreams and still would like to realize some of those dreams that you have? Well, welcome to our presentation. Now, I want you to ask yourself a very, very simple question. Do you still have a dream, a goal, a project that you'd like to realize if only you had the financial freedom to do so? Now, for some of you, it may be to own your own home, maybe to improve your kitchen, support a charity, maybe to buy that new car, or just simply to go on holiday because you just need a little bit more income to be able to do that. Now, if the answer is yes to this or to anything else, the next few minutes will be extremely important for you. Now, crowdfunding. What is crowdfunding? We are going to talk about crowdfunding tonight, but for many on this line, and for many people that I talk to, they have an idea, but they don't really know what crowdfunding is. What is crowdfunding? Well, think of the word crowdfunding. It's a new word, it's a new term, but it's two words put together. Crowd meaning the mass, as you see on that description, the picture there. A mass, a crowd, a huge audience of people, and funding is another way of saying financing. So I like to think of crowdfunding as a way to finance from the mass. It's the funding of a project or a venture by raising monetary contributions from a large number of people. Today, it's often done via the internet, effectively via the internet. It's a form of alternative finance outside of the traditional banking system. I like to say it's the 21st century way of raising money. So, how does the basic model of crowdfunding work? Well, there's three basic elements. The first is you, the project initiator, the person who would like to raise money for your project or an idea. The second is the crowd, the mass, the people that you will present your idea to, who will support your idea or your project and will give you monetary contributions towards your project. And the third, it's very, very important, is the entity, the platform, the company that brings the first two parties together. So let's just recap very quickly. You have a great idea, whatever it is. It could be to buy that new car. Maybe it's to improve your home. Maybe to build an extension. Maybe you'd like to start a business. Maybe you'd start to raise money for a charity. You've got a great idea. You want to raise some money. The second is, well, where are you going to get this money from? Because today banks and institutions make it very difficult to obtain money. And maybe you don't want to borrow money. Maybe you just would like to be debt-free or not have a debt. And so you're thinking of ways to raise money. So you pitch it to the crowd or to the audience via the website. Now, the third most important part of the model is the entity, the platform, the thing that brings you and your audience together so you can raise money for that project or that idea. Now, there are hundreds, literally hundreds of crowdfunding platforms around the world today. What you have here is just some of the top 15 crowdfunding platforms or companies in Europe. You've got Seeders. Some of you might recognize the names here. Gotio, KissKissBankBank, OutCrowd, Investor. You've got Funding Circles. Now, Funding Circles I'm very familiar with because it's a UK platform. Now, they don't lend or they don't facilitate everyone. It's a business. If you've got a new business or an existing business, they will help you to raise money for that business. And as I said, they're not a bank, but they are a crowdfunding platform. So there are many platforms. Some of you might recognize some of the names that are out there, such as GoFundMe, JustGiving.com, or Indiegogo, or Rocket Hub. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of platforms now that are helping individuals to raise money for their projects or their ideas. So crowdfunding is currently booming. It's probably one of the fastest growing areas of financing right now. And so think of it, if you might have an idea for a company, maybe it's a drinks company, or maybe you want to raise money for a charity, maybe you just like to just generate some cash for your family, you and your family. The arts, for example, or your local community, or a business that you'd like to start. In the UK, the film and theatre industry has been raising money for literally decades. Over 100 years, they've been raising money for the theatre and for the arts. School projects, environmental projects, food and drink. There are so many ideas that you can think of to raise money through the crowdfunding platforms that currently exist. So we're going to talk to you today about a crowdfunding company that has a number of platforms, a couple of good platforms. And I'm going to particularly talk to you about our CFI Crowdfunding International Universal platform that really is all-encompassing and brings everyone from around the world and allows them to participate on our platform in a really very, very simple way. As I said, we're going to show you the overview of how the platform works and how our platform really differs from many platforms out there in the market. But also as well, again, as I said, I'm an independent project manager. I do not work for Crowdfunding International. I'm literally presenting to you a platform, an overview of something that I am very, very familiar with now. And I know that this is something that we have to share so that the word can be spread around the world about this wonderful platform that brings everybody together in a wonderful community. So let's take a look at the homepage. When you visit our website, and our website is cfi-universal.com. That's the site you need to visit. And when you visit our site, you will see a number of things on the site. But most importantly, you'll see 3 distinct videos, one on associations, one on charities, and one on personal projects. These videos will give you 2 to 2.5 platform and become a project manager on our platform, and allows them to also upload their project. They simply complete a registration page. It's very, very important to upload their passport because of the anti-money laundering laws. So they must upload their project, their passport or ID, and also the project, and as I said, describe the project in no less than 40 words. They have a simple registration which just takes them some personal information about them. They click whatever description it is. It's a personal project. There's a few tick boxes that they must complete. Now, in order for you to join the platform, there is one thing you must agree to do, and that is to give a one-time donation to the project or the individual that invited you to be on the platform. Now, that one-time donation is 50 euros. So you give a 50 euro donation, plus you also have to add to that a 28 euro registration, or what we call a sub-license fee, which also includes the admin charge and the processing fee. So when you add the 50 euros to the 28 euros, you now have 78 euros that will be the only outlay that you will need to make should you wish to join the platform to upload your project. Now, that's far less. For what you can raise, that's a one-time fee, as I said, for you to join, which is 50 euros, which is this is a separate donation to the project, and 28 euros, which covers your sub-license as well as your admin and your processing fee. Once you have done that, and you now have registered with our platform, here's what I like to think of you now. You are a seed. You are now a seed that now is planted on our fertile ground, the orchard, which is really Crowdfunding International. So really now your project is planted firmly on our platform, and it allows you to grow your seed into a tree, and we call it a donation tree. So what does that mean? Well, the more individuals that join your tree from your seed, you have two distinct branches growing from your project, from your tree. And you have a branch on the left and a branch on the right, and you simply promote your project and the platform, and the more people that join your donation tree, the more donations that you will receive for your particular project. So let's have a look at how that works. So there's you, this is you, and this is your seed, and you have two individuals that want to donate to you and also join the platform and become project managers on the platform. So that becomes two. So now you have two branches off your tree. Those two will do exactly the same thing as you. They upload their project and they promote their project, and they also get two. So two gets two, and two again gets two. So you have four becoming eight. Eight does exactly the same thing as you, and they also get some more projects onto the donation tree. Now think of it, your tree is now growing, it's becoming a two distinct branches, left and right, and as it starts to grow, 8 becomes 16, 16 becomes 32, and literally your tree starts to take a life of its own and starts to grow. So why is this so important? Well, it's important because everybody does exactly the same thing. They donate and they receive donations and they promote and they get more projects onto the platform. We're growing the platform and growing your donation tree. So let's take a look at the whole goal and what you're trying to achieve whilst you're on the platform. Well, we have something called the Star Way. This is your pathway to receiving donations for your project. Now, it simply is this. As you join, there are 7 stars to complete. Each star has 3 steps to complete. These steps represent donations that you will make. Now, these donations are not donations that come from your pocket, but they're donations that you will gather as your tree starts to grow and more donations come into your wallet. You will just simply redonate these donations out to other projects that were on the platform and that I would call part of the roots of your tree. Now, as you can see, 7 stars to complete. Let's just click and see what this looks like. As you complete the 7 stars, each star has 3 steps, and each step represents donations that you will make. And as you can see, the goal is to complete all the 7 stars on the platform. Once you do this, you will have, by the time you've reached star 7, step 3, you will now have reached the pinnacle, the top of the Star Way. This just basically means that you've donated a little over 5,000 euros to other projects on the platform. You've now reached the Star Way. What does this mean for you? You've now completed your part of the deal. You've now donated to other projects where everyone is helping one another on the platform. Congratulations, you're now at 7.3. What does this mean for you? Why do you want to get to 7.3 on the platform? Well, quite simply is this. Once you've achieved 7.3 on the platform, that is the last time you make a donation to anyone on the platform. And at this point, you will just receive donations for your project. Every time you receive a donation, it will be going towards your project. You will not be required to make another donation to anyone else on the platform. So the goal really is to get to 7.3, or to get to a point where you can gather enough donations for your project. So that's what I love about this platform. It really has two really great ways to raise money. So once you get to 7.3, this is just a typical example of the donations that you can receive at 7.3, as you can see here. Now, if I just increase the screen very, very slightly, you can see here that you're at 7.3. Now, this is typically the donations that can come in at 7.3. So why don't we now just quickly show you what that looks like. There you are at 7.3. This is a transaction history. It shows you what's coming in to your project. Now, 6 days represents you being at 7.3 for 6 days. This is not a typical, but this is an idea of what could happen to you. And after 6 days of being at 7.3, for this example, you can see over 1,000 euros of being gathered from that tree. Now, think about this. Your one-time donation was 50 euros. €50. You reach 7.3. And now all the donations are coming to you on your project. And in 6 days, this is just an example, but it's not typical, but it's an example, over €1,000 that's come into your project. Now, let's say your target was, I don't know, €20,000. You can see that this can be achieved at 7.3. So this is all cleverly knitted together. Somebody saying, Keith, now how does all this work? Well, we have, well, it's all mathematics, of course. It's a very clever, pure mathematics. There's an algorithm that, I'm not going to go into the details of the algorithm, but the algorithm determines who get what donation and when they get that donation. And quite simply, the algorithm will work all this out for you. You don't have to work out who to give those donations to. But what it does tell you, that should you complete and get to 7.3, the maximum the algorithm will allow you to receive in donations is over 800,000. In actual fact, it's €850,000 for your project. Anything up to 850,000 for your project. Now, let's be honest, most people will fall into a number that's less than €850,000. But this is my point, ladies and gentlemen. The algorithm is very clever. Now, here's what I say. Now, 850,000 is a tremendous figure to receive on any project, on any idea. But what if you only was able to achieve 10% of this figure? That still represents 85,000 for your project. Now, think of it. Your donation is only €50, but you can gather up to 85,000 if this algorithm only works 10% for you. Now, what if it was only 1%? For a €50 donation and building a community, you can still raise in excess of €8,500 for your project. Can anyone on this line tonight think of anything that you can use that 8,500 for, or maybe even 85,000? So that's if you get this algorithm 90% wrong, 10% right, or even 1% right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I don't need to go into detail about the algorithm. It's a very clever bit of mathematics here, but it absolutely works fantastically well. So now, as I'll wrap my call up tonight, thank you so much for being with me this evening. Remember what we do on our platform. We only do two things. We give a donation so we can receive a donation. We give a donation so we can receive a donation. We give a donation so we can receive a donation. We give a donation so we can receive a donation, so we can receive a donation, so we can receive a donation, so we continue to receive donations. That's what we do. We give so we can receive. Fantastic. We also register and donate to the project of the person who introduced you. So if you see something that you like here tonight, register. The first thing you've got to do is register, upload your project, and join our platform. Create your project, whatever it is. It could be to raise money for school fees. It could be to buy a new car. It could be just simply you'd like to have more disposable. You'd like to maybe donate more to charity. Thirdly, show the possibilities of crowdfunding to others. This is so important. Tell people about the platform. Tell people about your project. Tell them why you want to raise money. Tell them that this is a great platform that will allow you to do that. But we're all working together. We're all linked through a community, one community. And find as many donators as you can. Don't stop at 2. Continually promote your project. I have mine on my Facebook page. I have mine on my WhatsApp group. I also have mine on my Skype. I'm always trying to help people to raise money. And finally, in order for you to realize your project, you must help others to realize theirs. It's so, so important. Realize your project while helping others to realize theirs. That is simple. That is the way it works. You cannot help yourself unless you first of all help others on our platform. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, it's been a pleasure to deliver this information to you. I hope you got something from it this evening. All I can say is that it's a wonderful concept. It brings the world together. It helps people to help others. And that's what I love about this platform. The great thing about our platform is that we're growing from strength to strength. We have a couple of platforms with our company now. We have a platform with a larger donation. And we have this, what I call the universal platform that really most people around the world can join this platform. There's some wonderful ideas that are coming down the pipe with our company. But the beautiful thing about this platform is that it encourages us to work together, to help one another to achieve our goals and our dreams. And it really does force us to be in one happy family. Now, again, as I said, we do a live call. This has been my live call this evening. We will do this call again on Thursday evening. It's been a great pleasure to deliver this information tonight. I hope I haven't I hope I haven't delivered it too fast and you were able to understand most of it. You're not going to get everything tonight, but please get back to the person who invited you to be on this webinar this evening. Tell them what you think about this webinar. Tell them what you think about Crowdfunding International and CFI Universal. And as I said, I hope to see you on the beaches of the world. And I also wish you all the best and happy crowdfunding. Again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name is Keith Williams, and it's been a great pleasure to deliver this information to you tonight. Thank you. Good night, and God bless.